Hello everyone, long time no see, but I hope you're ready for a full classical Pilates class to celebrate March Madness, and then more to come later on. Let's get started. To start, we are going to be laying down on our mat. We are going to build up a little slow before we get into all the good juicy stuff. So we're just going to have our feet nice and softly bent, feet down flat on the mat. Hands are going to be behind our head. We're creating traction with that upper body. So shoulder blades are pulling down, elbows are pulling wide. You're going to inhale to prepare, exhale to curl up, inhale to curl back down. So just doing those head floats. Kind of warming up the body, seeing how it feels today. Using that upper body to support the head and neck, but not pull on it. We're going to do one last one like that. Coming back on down. Awesome. You're going to bring those hands down beside you. You're going to cross one knee over the opposite knee. If you feel more comfortable or if you've had hip replacement or something, keep knees side by side. We're just going to send those legs across one side. Get an inhale over, and exhale up to center. Inhale over to the other side. We're going to do one more on both sides here. And the last one like that. Awesome. So when you come up to the top, you're going to uncross those legs, cross the other one over, and then same thing again, inhaling over to one side, exhaling up to center, inhaling over to the other side, keeping the shoulders down, exhaling up to center, one more on both sides. And last one here. Awesome, uncrossing those legs. We're going to bring those hands back around behind our head. Again, create traction for your neck. Create some nice length. We're going to bring our legs up into our Pilates V or a frog, depending on who you learn from. Heels are going to be together, toes are going to be apart. We're going to be slightly pointed, but think like you're pressing through the balls of your feet. Curl your head and chest on up if that feels good for you. You're inhaling to press those legs out. Exhaling to pull them back in. The lower you go, the harder it's going to be to keep either a neutral spine or a curled spine. Because it is classical that we're doing, typically in classical we keep our lower backs down. If that does not work for you and you're keeping a neutral spine, just making sure that you're not arching your back as you send the legs away and then not curling in as you pull in, so you're just keeping that nice steady shape. We're going to do that last one. Inhaling out, exhaling back on in. Bring those legs in together, squeeze those feet in towards each other, and then wrapping your feet like you're holding onto a ball. You're going to inhale, reach those legs away. Exhale, pull them back in. Just warming up the body still. We're going to do one last one. Coming back on in, now flexing the feet, so pull those toes up towards your shins, reset your upper back if you need to, elbows still pulling wide, inhaling out again, exhaling, pulling back in. If you're feeling anything in your lower back, you can always reach those legs up a little higher. If you need to, you can always rest your head down, do what feels right for your body in this space today. And we're going to do one last one. Coming back on in. Awesome. Rest that head down for a second. If you need to, hug the knees in. Shake off anything that you got to shake off. And from here for our 100 today, we're going to reach those legs up towards the ceiling. We're going to grab hold behind the thighs. We're going to pull our head and chest on up, finding that deep curl. Really reaching through your toes. You're going to reach through those hands, and then we're going to start our 100 here. Inhaling for those 5 pumps, and exhaling for those 5 pumps. Options to change from here. If having your legs straight feels like a strain in the quads, soften your knees. If you need to, rest your head down. If you want more of a challenge, send those legs further away. But if not, we're just staying in this nice tight and tall 100. Again, whatever shape of your spine you are choosing to have, make sure it stays that way. We're going to have 2 more big breaths here. Awesome, finishing up with that one there. Cool. So you can come on up to sitting. You're gonna have those feet flexed at the end of your mat. Traditionally, we'd have a mat with a foot strap on it. If you're like me and don't have a foot strap, it's gonna be a little tougher. So you're gonna really flex those feet, pulling those toes back towards your shins, driving those heels away from you. You're gonna reach those arms out in front. You're gonna tuck your tailbone underneath you. You're gonna round your back and roll yourself as far as you can down before those heels lift off. If they start lifting off, come all the way back on up. Exhaling, having a forward bend here. Inhaling back up, exhale down. Inhale back up. And then exhale forward. If you want an extra challenge, roll yourself all the way down until you're laying down on the mat. If you want an extra challenge after that, arms are up by your head. Little tougher. We're going to do one last one of whatever variation feels right for you today. Rolling all the way down. And rolling all the way back on up. Good job. So then after roll up, we've got roll over. So rollover is our first inversion of the day. Roll over is kind of like a double leg circle, but it's pretty small. So we're going to have our hands down by your sides. I'm going to show you the fullest version and then give you a modification. We're going to press into those hands. We're going to come all the way up into our shoulder stand. Then from here, keeping the lift in your hips, you're going to let those feet drop down without smushing in your back. Stay strong. You can go all the way down until your toes touch the floor if you'd like. You're going to bring those feet flexed and hip distance apart, no wider. Then you're going to roll down your spine, one vertebrae at a time. You send those feet as far away as you can while maintaining a strong core. So if you feel like your back's going to arch, you bring them up a little higher, squeeze them together, point, and go over again. Options if you don't want to go into a shoulder stand right now for a full inversion. What we'll end up doing is you'll end up bringing those toes up, maybe a little hip lift, bring them apart, flex, and roll down there. So you're not bringing those legs all the way up and over. And again, if you are going up and over, make sure that you know what a nice tall spine feels like in your shoulder stand. You don't want to feel like your hips are going to come in and squish you and bop you in the nose. We're going to do this last one. All the way over, apart, and flex, and roll. Awesome. When we come down, we're going to leave one leg up towards the ceiling and leave my left leg up. The right leg's going to come down. It's going to be nice and flexed. Point through the top leg, externally rotate it. So we're going to bring heel closer to the center, toes a little further out to the outside and go into our single leg circle. So we cross the body, hip can come up. We circle down and around. Exhale to come back and up. We're going to do 3 both ways, short and sweet. We're doing this third one. When you come up to the top, pause, reverse your circle. Out to the outside, circle down and around. Exhale up. Last one, when you come up to the top, you're just going to bend that leg in, slide it down the mat, bring your other leg up, and then again, externally rotate it, cross the body first. Flexing in that bottom leg, feel nice and long. Keep the shoulders down even though you're making that big twist. And then that third one, once you've done your third one, pause at the top, and then reverse. Inhaling for that first half of the circle, exhale for the second half. Again, keeping shoulders down, abs nice and tight. Once you've done our third one here, you're going to come back in. If you'd like, you can give those knees a little bit of a hug inwards. Cool. So speaking of knees hugging inwards, if you can, nice little trick, press your knees in towards your hands, roll yourself on up, because we are going to be going into rolling like a ball. So depending on your mat thickness, this may not feel like the most comfortable thing in the whole wide world, I won't lie, but we're going to hug our legs in nice and close. We are going to pull our lower abdominals back, roll backwards, exhale up. If that doesn't feel like the right thing for you to do today, you can think about tipping through your pelvis, rolling back and up. Little tip, roll back and up. So it's just more like a spinal movement. If not, inhale back, exhale forward. Enjoy the rolling. Again, when you're doing these rolls, try not to squish your knees in towards your face. If you need to make a little bit of room for your nose, like I do, you can bring your knees a little further apart. Awesome. The next time you're up, you're going to stay up, and then we get our stomach series. So my favorite way to get into the stomach series from rolling like ball is to switch to holding onto one leg, extend the opposite leg as I roll backwards, and then we begin. Inhaling for one, exhaling for the other. If you want to go a little quicker, you could inhale for 2 and exhale for 2. If this doesn't feel right for your head and neck and shoulders, you can always rest your head down. You just may need to have the legs up a little higher. We're going to do this last set here. Come back in. If you need a little head shake, knee sway, take what you need. If not, legs stay together this time. Hug in. You're going to inhale, reach arms and legs away. Circle the arms, hug the legs in. Inhaling apart, exhaling into your ball. Last one. Coming back on in again, take what you need, shake off whatever you got to shake off, and then we get our scissors, one of my favorites. So scissors, you're going to send one leg up, the other leg long. You're holding on behind an ankle, a calf, a thigh. Maybe you need to bend the leg, that's totally fine. If you need the head down, you could again bend the knee. If not, nice and tall. Shoulder blades are down your back, not up your ears. And then we switch. And then we switch. Again, you can inhale for one, exhale for the other, or inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. I always like inhaling for one, exhaling for the other myself. You're going to do this last set. You come back in. Again, shake off anything that you got to shake off. Take whatever breaks you need to take. And when we're ready, we're going to bring those hands behind our head. Double leg lower lift. Both legs are going to be up towards 90. Curling your head and chest on up. If straight legs doesn't feel right for you, soften your knees. If you want something a little more modified, knees nice and bent in towards the tabletop. And then when we're ready, we're inhaling to go down. We're exhaling to come back up. And remember that spinal shape, nothing changes. We're going to do just one last one. Awesome. Coming back on in. Again, shake off anything that you got to shake off. Sorry for being quiet on that one. It's just, it's hard to talk. So we're going to bring our legs up into a tabletop now. And whatever tabletop means to you, like I don't care if your table is slanted, but just something that feels right for your knees and your back. We're going to inhale, twist to one side, extend the opposite leg, bending back in. Twist to the other side, bending back in. We're going to do that 4 times on both sides. So right now I'm at 2. Awesome, finishing that last set. And then coming all the way back on in again. Shake off anything that you gotta shake off. If you've got any tension in your back, rock your knees side to side. Anything in your head and neck, rock your head side to side. So then we're gonna come on up to sitting. We're going to bring our feet flexed just to the outside of our mat. So not like a huge big straddle, but something relatively comfortable. If you need to, prop your hips up just so that it doesn't feel like you've got that big ball in the front of your hips, or you can always soften your knees and until you can bring your feet down onto the floor, or something a little longer. I just find when my legs are like this, my heels are down, but my foot can't be down, I find it feels a little uncomfortable in the back of my heels. So you find something good for you. We're gonna inhale those arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, reach forwards, not just rounding, you're still reaching. And then when you're ready, great big inhale to lengthen your body back on up. And then exhaling. Inhaling up. Last one here, exhaling down. And inhaling up. Fantastic. So then we have open leg rocker. Normally in the transition, you just grab hold of your legs and go. I don't have much room behind my mat, so I'm going to scooch forward. I'm a tall human. So we're going to bend our legs in, grab hold behind an ankle or more down to your calf. Maybe we straighten our legs, maybe we don't. We're only going to do our open leg rocker with the open leg, so we're only going to do open leg rocker 1. We're going to lift those legs up into your straddle, and then you roll backwards, and you roll forwards. Options: don't want to roll, bend and extend. Want to roll but maybe not hold on to your ankles, elbows on the insides of your knees. Find something that feels good to you. We're going to do one last one. And then coming back up. Whoop. And then coming back in. So then from here we're going to do saw. So we're skipping corkscrew. Saw, you're going to be back in that straddle so that feet just wider than your mat. You're going to bring arms out wide to the outside. Feel those arms connect into your back. You're not holding them by your neck. You're going to reach through those fingers on your next inhale. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, twist. Reach up through the backhand. So flip it over. Reach the palm up as you reach forward towards that foot. So you get this big oppositional stretch. And then when you're ready, coming up, untwist. Twist the other way. Exhaling forward. Scoop the hand up to find that big twist. Restacking. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling up, untwist, twist the other way. We're going to do this last set. Awesome, so good. Love saw. It's one of my favorites. So then we're going into swan. So swan, we're going to lay down on your stomach. In yoga, you'd call it cobra. And for my gymnasts, it's our seal stretch. So all the animals. You're going to pull those arms back into your back. So connect your shoulder blades. Classically, we have our legs squeezing together. My lower back's feeling a little squishy today. So I'm actually going to leave my feet hip distance apart. If you're in that same boat, leave your legs hip distance apart. Pull back in those shoulder blades. Lift yourself up as high as you can without really using those hands, and then those hands assist in the movement. They're not doing all the work. This isn't a weird floppy push-up. It's just big spinal bend. If having your hands on either side of your chest or underneath your shoulders doesn't feel right for you, you can always play around with having your hands further apart and further forward. The only catch with this is try not to let your shoulders roll in when you do this. So you've got to be really mindful of pulling your shoulder blades down your back. But sometimes this feels more like a gentle way of getting a good back bend. Awesome. We're going to do this last one here. Coming back down, we're going to go into our single leg kick and our double leg kick. So for a more kind of gentle option, we're going to go with our hands underneath our forehead as a little pillow. If you're wanting to go full classical mode, you're up on your elbows in that kind of half swan. But for today, we're going to have our head down. We're thinking about pressing the top of our hip bones in towards the mat. So oftentimes in our swans, we think pubic bone down. Or now as we're thinking top of hip bones down to lengthen and lift the legs. And then from here, we're taking one leg, kicking it in, and then we switch. While you're doing this, you're still actively trying to get those legs higher and higher and higher. Awesome. We're going to do that last set there. And then come back in, relaxing the legs down. We're going to squeeze those legs together now. We're going to bring one cheek down onto the mat. Our hands are going to come one over top of the other, so not grip and hold. We're not holding our own hands. One on top of the other. If this doesn't feel right for you for your shoulders, you can always bring them on top of your hips or even just down by your sides and reach your hands the same way. It's totally fine. So if your hands are one on top of the other, scooch them up your back a little more, just because I know you can. Then from here, think about pressing the top of your hip bones in. You're going to kick with your legs. There's a spring between your toes and your fingers. As you reach the legs away, you reach the arms away, it pulls you up. You switch to look to the other side, then you bend back in. Inhaling away, exhaling back in. We're going to do 3 on both sides. Big breaths. Awesome, ending on the same side. Fantastic. So if you'd like, this is the perfect spot to reach through those hands, come back into a quick child's pose, bend the other way, have a nice big stretch for your back. So from here, we're going to be coming up, and then we have scissors and bicycle. I know I said we already did scissors, but there's 2 different scissors. One of them's really, it's got a different classical name, but we all know it is scissors. So 2 options for scissors. Full advanced version. We're going to bring our hands underneath our hips, and we're actually going to be pressing into those hips. So we're going to have traditionally fingers pointed towards our sits bones, hands at our lower back, and then we're going to kind of sit in our hands a little bit. Not so much that we feel like we're driving our elbows into towards the floor, but there is some weight going into those hands. If this does not feel comfortable for you, option would be to prop your hips up with your hands, still do the same movement. Or you could use yoga blocks or any like bolster, foam roller, anything could go underneath your hips to prop them up. Just make sure that it actually is your hips being propped up, not your lower back. Okay, so if you are with me up here, little weight into your hips, reaching through those legs. Think about the leg that's sending away. The other leg that's coming over top of your face is more of a counterbalance. Awesome. We're going to do one more on both sides. Nice and balanced. And then we're going to go into our bicycle. So bicycle, same place. Hips are still propped up. Just needed to adjust. We're going to take that scissor and bicycle with it. I always find the bicycle makes the coolest shadows on the wall. We're going to do this last one here. Bring both legs up. Hands come down, or block or foam roller come out from underneath. You're going to roll yourself all the way down. Nice. Bring your feet feet down flat onto the mat. And then we're just going to press into those hands, press into our feet, roll our hips up, and just roll our hips down. This is also a great time if you are up on those hands and you feel like they're a little squished. You can always do a couple rolls. This is just a little reset moment. We're not going to add in the leg kicks or anything special and fancy today. And then rolling ourselves back down. So good. We're going to come on up to sitting. We're going to have our feet together nice and flexed. Again, if you need to prop up your hips, prop up your hips. If you need to soften your knees, soften your knees. We're going to have those arms out wide to the outside, another spinal twist. So we're going to inhale to prepare. Exhale, twist, twist a little further. Inhale back to center. The reason why we have our feet together and flexed on this one is not only because it's just hard to sit in a pike, but it's also so that you know if your hips are also twisting with you. You should feel your ankle bones and the balls of your big toes together the entire time and not shifting. That means it's a true spinal twist and not just a hip thing. So good. Okay, jackknife. Jackknife is next. We're going to point through our toes. Round through your spine a little bit. Hands are coming down beside your hips, and we're going to use that to come up into our first jackknife. So reach through those hands, reach through those feet. You're finding this nice long rocking motion, rolling yourself back, and then all the way up. When you're up here, you're going to start rolling yourself down your spine with as much length as possible. So what I mean is length is you're not letting those knees come towards your nose. So you're not letting this happen. There's no squishing here. Jackknife is a long motion. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. We're going to do this last one here. Awesome. Legs are going to come all the way onto the mat. Have a little moment here. Feels so good. Okay, so we have our Sidekick series next. We're going through this whole thing, guys. This is, we're skipping one or two things, but for the most part, we're doing it. So top hand's going to be pressing down onto the mat. If you want the extra balance challenge or the true class tool feel, hands are going to be both behind your head. Feet are going to be towards the front edge of your mat and hips are going to be towards the back. So you've got a small bend at the hips. You're going to take that top leg up to hip height. You're going to flex it to kick forward, point it to go back. So we're going to flex, exhale, exhale, inhale, inhale. So there's a little pump. We're going to do one more forward and one more to the back. Bring the leg over top the other leg. Externally rotate it. So heels are closer in, toes are more up towards the ceiling. Up, up, and down. Again, lift, lift, and back down. Last one. Lift, lift, and all the way back down. And then we're just going to do our 3 rounded jumps, which basically just means 3 big circles, whatever big means to you today. So if big isn't that big, that's totally fine. Kicking forward, lifting up, sending the leg to the back, and then all the way in. I always find that my motions are a little on the smaller side whenever I'm teaching, just so that I can keep talking. On your third one, we're going to pause, reverse our circle, sending the leg to the back, lifting up and all the way forward. Once we've done this third one here, we're going to come back in and we're going to roll over to our other side. So you can either roll onto the other side of your mat, but I'm gonna flip over so then I can keep looking at you guys. So again, whatever you did on one side, do on the other side if you can, with that upper body. Hips are back towards the back edge, feet are towards that front edge, top hand is pressing down, foot's gonna be nice and flexed. We're exhaling, exhaling, inhaling, inhaling. Exhaling, kick forward, flex foot, point on the way back. Foot's not doing what it's supposed to. Kick, kick, and then point, point. Last one, kick, kick, point, point. Bring the leg over top the other leg. Excuse me, guys. We're going to externally rotate, lift, lift, lower, lower. Doing this last one, coming back down. Sorry, I need a little drink after this series. We're going to kick that leg forward, lifting up, circling all the way to the back, bringing it back on in. Once you've done this third one, pause, reverse, sending the leg all the way to the back, lifting it up, circling it all the way forward. Awesome, letting that rotation happen, but try to keep the hips nice and stacked. Awesome. So after that side kick series, we're going to be getting set up for teaser. So sitting down in the middle of your mat, we're going to be finding our teaser. So we're going to do more of a modified teaser. If you want to go for it, lay on down, teaser up. If not, hands are going to come behind our thighs, tipping ourselves back. We're going to find that spot where we feel weightless in our legs, lifting them up. And we're going to extend our legs out. We're going to reach one hand up, maybe the other hand up, and then just hold here for a breath. And then we're going to pull it back in, sit ourselves forward. If you need to release anything, release anything. The next one that we're going to do a little lower and then lift. And we're going to do that 3 times and then be done with our teaser today. So tipping ourselves back, finding that kind of balance point, reaching through the legs, reaching through the arms, lower a bit, lift a bit. Finishing that third one, bending in, sitting yourself forward. Again, shake off whatever you gotta shake off. So, to finish off, we're gonna do our boomerang and then our control balance. Again, skipping some of the advanced stuff, just to make it a little bit more of an intermediate class. There is an advanced class on this channel if you want to add in those extra pieces though. So boomerang is one of the more advanced pieces. So we're going to cross one ankle over the opposite, doesn't matter which one, pick your favorite. Hands are going to come back down to our sides. And as always, if you're not into doing a full inversion shoulder stand, you don't have to. Try a little hip lift, switch, and then come back down. Hands are going to be down by your side. Reach through your toes, coming on up. Switch what foot's in front. Roll down. Teaser. Pause. Bring the arms all the way around. Lift. And then reach. Hands come back towards your hips. Rolling back. Shoulder stand. Switch. Pause in your teaser. Arm circle. Lift. To go forward. We're going to do it 2 more times. Reaching back. All the way over. Or a little hip lift. Crossing. Teaser. Arm circle. To reach. Last one. Curl them back. Switch. Rolling down. Reaching. Arm circle. To Phiit. Awesome. And then control balance, which is so iconic for my Instagram and my website and all the things. I love control balance. Can't get enough of it. So, control balance
is a full shoulder stand. There aren't many modifications for it, but I will show you one afterwards. So we're going to reach to our hands, we're going to come up into our full shoulder stand. What we're going to do is we're going to try and stay up here, swim our arms all the way over top of our head. Easier said than done. Drop one leg without dropping the hip towards those hands. You can grab hold. Bring the leg all the way back on up and then switch. Don't start switching while the leg's still lifting. You have to bring the leg all the way up. That's where the control comes in. We're going to do this last one here, and then I'm going to show you a more modified version, which is kind of fun. So, modified version is kind of like our scissor. So we're going to come here, except we're going to reach our upper body back and lean back on our leg. And then we're going to try and bring the leg all the way down, all the way back up to that leg. Back up to those hands. Reach away. Whew, crazy ab stuff. And then coming back on up. So you can definitely do this, but it makes it more of like a core exercise than it is a control exercise. So both are absolutely awesome. And then the last but certainly not least, I wanted to just either sit somewhere that feels really, really good for you, really comfortable, lay down, cat, cow, child's pose, anything that feels nice for you. And then just take a couple breaths here. And just feel what your body feels like. We did a lot of hard work. You did absolutely incredible. No, I can't see you, but if you stayed this long, you absolutely nailed it. And I totally believe in you. I'm so incredibly proud, and I hope you are so incredibly proud of your ability to stick through this, to try out something maybe new, to learn something new, and to learn from someone else. It takes so much courage to go into something unknowingly. And lastly, I just wish you have an absolutely fantastic day, evening, week. Yeah, just everything. I really hope to spread tons and tons of positivity and good news into the future. So please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share to your friends, because I'm here for you guys and I just want the absolute world for each and every one of you. Okay. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye.